Raj, we have seen, as you mentioned, grandparent scam. There are so many. There are love scams. There are so many scams here. So when community they appeal to the police, they complain to the police. Police don't play that active role. Recently, we have seen because there are less police officers. Whatever scenario is there in the Canada. My question is, how Ontario Security Commission stop these fraudsters? What is your role in that? Raj, many countries, India including China, they have kind of a technology where you don't get scam calls or messages because that can be with technology, that can be blocked. Is Canada working on that lines or no? That's right, crypto investment is very important and our youngster youth, they are very much involved in crypto investments. And we have seen when they invest, they get defrauded also. So what OSC is doing to educate them, to guide them in a right way that whether how to invest in crypto investment. Raj, we have seen, as you mentioned, grandparent scam. There are so many. There are love scams. There are so many scams here. So when community they appeal to the police, they complain to the police. Police don't play that active role. Recently, we have seen because there are less police officers. Whatever scenario is there in the Canada. My question is, how Ontario Security Commission stop these fraudsters? What is your role in that? That's right, crypto investment is very important and our youngster youth, they are very much involved in crypto investments. And we have seen when they invest, they get defrauded also. So what OSC is doing to educate them, to guide them in a right way that whether how to invest in crypto investment. स्वागत है प्राइम एशिया ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਫਰਾਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਫਰਾਡਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਪਟੋ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਹੈ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਪਲਾਨ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹੈ ਰਾਜ ਬਾਲਾ ਸੁਬਰਾਮਨੀਅਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੈ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਰਾਜ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर ਹੈਵਿੰਗ ਮੀ ਟੁਡੇ
Yeah, Raj, if you can tell us about Ontario Security Commissions, what they do, what is their role, and investment, and how they control the frauds.
Thank you. So first of all, my name is Raj, as the host mentioned. I'm from the Ontario Securities Commission, and we are the regulator of capital markets in Ontario, and we're a government agency. Our job is to make sure we protect investors, and we are here to share information about how to protect yourself from investment scams and frauds, and to give you some tips on plan your financial well-being.
If same message, if you can repeat in Hindi also for our audience.
Absolutely. सबसे पहले तो नमस्ते सबको, सत श्री अकाल. मेरा नाम राज है, मैं ओंटारियो सिक्योरिटीज़ कमीशन से आया हूँ यहाँ. हम एक गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी हैं. हम यहाँ ये मैसेज दिलाने आए हैं कि हम इन्वेस्टर प्रोटेक्शन का काम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे ओंटारियो में. हमारा काम है रिसोर्सेज शेयर करना, हमारा काम है मैसेजेस देना ताकि आप लोग ये मैसेजेस यूज़ करें अपने फाइनेंशियल वेलबींग के लिए. हमारा मैसेज पूरा अनबायस्ड है. हम यहाँ कोई प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस बेचने नहीं आए हैं. तो होपफुली वी कैन शेयर द इंफॉर्मेशन टुडे एंड इट्स हेल्पफुल फॉर यू.
Raj, most welcome and thanks for your intro. What Ontario Security Commission is doing to help the Canadians. So question is like what your organization is doing to reach to the diverse audience in Canada.
Yeah, so thanks for the question. We know that the audience in Canada is evolving and changing. The needs are changing. The people coming from every part of the world are looking to Canada as a destination of choice. So we want to make sure that newcomers, people who speak different languages, feel welcome here and have the resources to make their own decisions about their money. So our job is to make sure that we provide unbiased resources. We also make sure that we are protecting the capital markets in Ontario so it's fair for everybody and it's open for everybody in Ontario.
Raj, nowadays we see the news is full of fraud stories. There are so many scams online also. So can you share some data, some details with us because it's increasing day by day?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's increasing day by day. To give you some numbers, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre has looked at the data from January of 2022 to August of 2022. The data shows that the amount of scams total up to $330 million. And that's a huge number. And that number, to keep in mind, is it's an underreported number, because a lot of times what happens is people who are susceptible to scams, people who get scammed, feel too embarrassed to talk about it, feel too embarrassed to report it. So that number is an underreported number, where the real number could be much higher than that.
So we have seen that there are many frauds. They are targeting ethnic communities. Can you share some details on that too?
Absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind is that all these relies on trust between people. So one of the big things in ethnic communities we're seeing is affinity fraud, which is something where you may be part of the same temple or gurdwara or mosque, and you trust somebody else and they come at you with an investment opportunity, and you go along with it because you trust the person. And chances are, if you have not researched the investment, and if you don't understand what you're investing your money in, and if you've not checked the registration of the person, it might end up being a red flag and a scam towards the end. The other piece we're seeing is something called a grandparent scam, where, you know, if you have a grandson or granddaughter, you might get a phone call from a stranger saying they're in trouble, you need to send them some money, otherwise they will be arrested or they'll be put in jail. 99% of the time it's usually a scam. What we usually say is, when you get phone calls like that, always hang up the phone and call the person that they're referring to. If it's your grandson or granddaughter, sometimes it's a niece or a nephew. Don't be afraid to hang up the phone, rely on your good judgment, and call the person directly to inquire if it's actually a real reason or is it just a scam.
Raj, we have seen, as you mentioned, grandparent scam. There are so many. There are love scams. Yeah. There are so many scams here. So when community, they appeal to the police, they complain to the police. Police don't play that active role recently, we have seen, because there are less police officers, whatever scenario is there in the Canada. My question is, how Ontario Security Commission stop these fraudsters? What is your role in that?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have a partnership with the Ontario Provincial Police, RCMP, and Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, where we work collaboratively to make sure that we go after these fraudsters. We want to make sure that these fraudsters know we exist to go after them, so that they don't go around scamming people one after another. You know, the one thing I will say is, when you see a potential scam or an opportunity coming to you that is fraudulent, report it to the police. Reporting it to the police or the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, and if at all, you can always call the Ontario Securities Commission, and our number is 1-877-785-1555. When in doubt and you're not sure if you want to go to the police or not, you can always call us as well, and we'll help you along the way to direct it to the right place.
Can you repeat your number again?
Absolutely, 1-877-785-1555. And I should also flag that we speak over 200 languages, so if you're not comfortable calling us and talking to us in English or French, you can call us and request the conversation to be in Punjabi, Hindi, or Urdu, or Arabic, and we will make sure that we provide that service to you as well.
So if you get a call on a scam from the Ontarians, from the residents, what action Ontario Security Commissions take on that?
Yeah, so we have multiple ways that we can go after these fraudsters. One of the ways is, if we find breaches of the Securities Act in Ontario, we can impose fines or sanctions towards that individual or the firm. So we can bar them from taking part in any public company or being part of a board of directors of a company, or trading in securities in the province of Ontario. On the flip side of it, we can also work with the courts in Ontario to recommend jail time or prison time for anyone that we find are guilty of these offenses. And we work collaboratively with the law enforcement agency, our regulatory partners. So it's a joint effort, and we're here today to educate everybody, but also ask for everyone's help to report the crime if you see something. If you see something that's fraudulent, please call us, because the more we can do together to protect everybody, the better it is in eradicating the scams and frauds from our community.
Raj, many times the fraudsters, they are overseas. They are in Nigeria, they are in overseas Indian market or a Pakistan market. How Ontario Security Commissions make sure that when they are there, how you catch them?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And one of the big things to keep in mind is, when the money is already exchanged hands, chances are it's usually very late to get the money back. So if the scamsters or fraudsters are overseas, that's an area where it's very, very difficult to get the money back. And circling it back to the importance of what we're doing here today is, prevention is better than cure. So it's important to understand the red flags of fraud, and I'll go over them with you right now. There are 4 major red flags of fraud. One is someone is pressuring you to invest or buy right away. You should always have the time to research your investment, look at how much details goes into it. The second is if someone is giving you a hot tip or insider information, I should state that insider tips and insider tips for investing information is illegal in Ontario. So don't act on insider tips. And the third thing is always check the registration of the person that you're working with. In Ontario, if someone's selling you securities or investment, they have to be registered with the OSC to sell you those investments. And you can check their registration at checkbeforeyouinvest.ca. Or you can always call us as well, 1-877-785-1555.
ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਜੋ ਰਾਜ ਸੁਬਰਾਮਨਿਅਮ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਰਾਡਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਸਕੈਮ ਜਾਂ ਲਵ ਐਂਗਲ ਸਕੈਮ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਸਕੈਮਸ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ। ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਹੌਟਲਾਈਨ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਪਲੇਂਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਰੈਸਟ ਇਜ਼ देयर ਜੌਬ, ਹਾਊ ਦੇ ਫਲੈਗ ਐਂਡ ਹਾਊ ਦੇ ਕੈਚ ਦੋਸ ਫਰਾਡਸਟਰ, ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ। ਸਾਡਾ ਪਰਪਸ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਬੁਲਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਅਨ ਸੇਫ ਰਹੀਏ, ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਫ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਔਰ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਟਿਪ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੌਟਲਾਈਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਜਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਇਸ ਸਕੈਮ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਚ ਸਕੀਏ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟਸ 'ਤੇ, ਆਪਣੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸੇਫ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਫਰਾਡਸਟਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਚੀਏ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਲਸ ਦੇਖੀਆਂ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਕੈਮ ਕਾਲਸ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ, ਫਰਾਡਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਾਲ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Raj, many Ontarians, they get a scam calls every day. It's a non-stop duct cleaning and kind of a scam, so much scams. Is Ontario government or Ontario Security Commission are doing something to stop this, or federal level, is federal government doing any steps to control these kind of activities?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We've all seen text messages from CRA or claiming to be from the bank, or like you said, duct cleaning. So one of the best things to do is, we as Canadians and Ontarians, we're very polite and we're very nice when people call us. Don't be afraid to hang up the phone when people like these call for these services. One of the best things to do is not engage. And the moment you start engaging with these fraudsters and scamsters, they know that you're open to discussing your own personal information with them, and they take advantage of your niceness, and they go one step further and start to solicit your money and get after your money. So the best thing to do is hang up the phone. Don't engage when it's someone calling you about a CRA scam or claiming to be from a bank or claiming to be duct cleaning. The best thing to do is hang up the phone, Google search the company or person who's calling you or who's claiming to be calling you, and call them directly to make sure that you're talking to that individual or that company. And another thing I will state is our website, getsmarteraboutmoney.ca. It's the most visited financial literacy website in Canada. Millions of visitors for our website. Please visit that website. There's a lot of good resources there. And again, they're all unbiased. We're not here to sell you a product or service. We're doing this to make sure more people are informed about what are the steps they can take to protect themselves when they're when they come in contact with these text messages or phone calls or emails. So the best thing is to protect yourself and visit our website to get some tips.
Raj, many countries, India including China, they have kind of a technology where you don't get scam calls or messages, because that can be with technology, that can be blocked. Is Canada working on that lines or no?
Yeah, so there is a national do not call list for sure. I would recommend searching into it if you want to be added to that list. But on top of that, the key thing to remember is, fraudsters and scammers are getting smarter and smarter every day. They find new ways to get after your money. They're finding innovative ways to get after your money. The best thing to do is, have your guard on. Make sure you don't engage with people that you don't know. Make sure you don't send money over wire transfer. Make sure you don't deal with people who are not registered. Make sure you're not falling for high pressure sales tactics where people are saying you need to invest your money within the next hour or you're going to lose out on this opportunity. So those are some of the things everyone can do to protect themselves and their own family.
Okay, Raj, if you talk about the investments, and we know many people, they are concerned about the economy, and how does that affect their investments? What kind of tips you have for them?
Yeah, so everybody is aware of the increasing interest rates these days. Inflation is at an all-time high. We know that everything is costing more, and with that, we want to make sure that people are aware of their long-term goals. We want to make sure that people are saving for kids' educations, people are saving for their retirement. So on our website, getsmarteraboutmoney.ca, we have a lot of articles. We have tools and calculators to help you plan for your retirement, help you plan for your kids' education. We also go into how RESPs work, how RRSPs work. So please take a look. The one thing I will say is having a financial plan is a central step to ensuring that you have a fruitful retirement. And a retirement plan is something that takes into account inflations and short-term and medium-term bumps in interest rates and inflation. So if you don't have a financial plan, please work with a registered financial advisor to have one. And you can always visit our website to learn more about how to plan for your retirement or save for your kids' education.
Okay. Do you have any resources for people who want to save for their children's education plan or their retirement plans?
Yes. So like I mentioned, our website, getsmarteraboutmoney.ca, we get this question a lot about kids' education because RESPs is a question that is very prevalent, especially in South Asian communities, and we want to make sure that our kids have good education. Our next generation has a better life than ours. So go to our website. We talk about group RESPs. We talk about all different kinds of plans. That's a good first place to start. But having a fulsome financial plan is a good step to ensure that your retirement is taken care of and your kids' education is taken care of, so that you continue to save and you continue to invest even during inflationary times. Even if that's a small amount, doing it on a regular basis goes a long way versus not doing it at all.
And what kind of resources do you have for those who want to understand the investing, personal finance, or the current frauds?
Yeah, so on our website, we talk about things like cryptocurrency. We talk about romance scams, where someone reaches out to you to have a, they pretend to have an interest in you from a romantic standpoint, and they then get after your money. And we have resources on our website on how to protect yourself from things like that. One area that I mentioned, cryptocurrency, is something that is top of mind. We have a lot of resources on our website, getsmarteraboutmoney.ca. We also have a dedicated website for crypto, because I know it's top of mind for everybody. It's getsmarteraboutcrypto.ca. It talks about how it works, it talks about the regulation, it talks about stories and tips on how to protect yourself if you're being targeted by a crypto fraudster.
That's right. Crypto investment is very important, and our youngster youth, they are very much involved in crypto investments. And we have seen when they invest, they get defrauded also. So what OSC is doing to educate them, to guide them in a right way, that how to invest in crypto investments?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So crypto is something, we've seen more younger people drawn to it, but older people are drawn to it as well. So it's not that it's just a younger people thing or it's a fad, but crypto is something that is a new, innovative thing. So at the OSC, we have a list of registered crypto trading platforms who have gone through our registration process. What that means is we know who they are, we know their background, we know that their process is vetted by the OSC. So I highly recommend your viewers to go to the OSC's website to see the list of registered platforms. The website again is getsmarteraboutcrypto.ca or getsmarteraboutmoney.ca. And by working with someone who's a registered crypto trading platform, you can be sure that they've gone through our process. And again, you're making your own decisions about your financial well-being and your own money. But people have to be careful about same things, high pressure sales tactics, where people are saying, invest in this crypto today and you can make guaranteed returns tomorrow. So that's a red flag. Again, I'll go through the red flags again, which apply for crypto as well. High pressure sales tactics, guaranteed return, where people are saying, invest in crypto today, you can make the money tomorrow. Someone who's not registered to sell you the crypto. And the last thing is, if they're not allowing you to have the time to research your investment. If you don't understand crypto and you want to just invest in it because everybody else is, that's usually a red flag. You want to make sure that you have the time to research your investment. So
if anyone want to get more details or more tips on whether to invest in crypto or not, so can they call you?
Yes, absolutely.
Which number?
Please call us. Our number again is 1-877-785-1555. And again, you can call us and talk to us in Punjabi, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, and we'll be happy to take your phone call. Even if it's a question, comment, feedback, please do call us. We appreciate all the feedback we get.
Raj, what people can do to protect themselves from fraud, what steps they can take?
Yeah, so I mentioned a few red flags. Those are ones that apply across the board. You know, if someone calls you out of the blue and says, you know, you need to invest in this right away. It's high pressure. They're trying to get at you within a few minutes. They want to make sure that you make the decision right away, and they're not allowing you the time to research the investment or even talk to a family member or an accountant or a financial advisor. That's usually a red flag. The second is if it's an insider information or a hot tip. You know, in Ontario, acting on insider information is illegal. So if you get caught by acting on insider information, you can potentially go to jail.
Yes.
The third thing is, you know, if someone is not registered and they're trying to sell you stuff that they're not registered to sell, that's usually a red flag. So please check the registration. So those are some of the things that everyone can do to protect themselves from potential frauds and scams.
Raj, in the end, किसी को भी ओंटेरियन को अगर कॉल करनी है, ओंटेरियो सिक्योरिटी कमीशन को कब कॉल करें? When can someone call Ontario Security Commission, at what time and when?
So you can call us anytime from Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. And if you call us beyond that time and leave us a voicemail, we will return your call the next day for sure. So please feel free to call us 1-877-785-1555.
And when should someone contact OSC?
Yeah, so if you have a comment or concern, if you have a question, if you are, you know, if you come in contact with a potential fraudster or a scammer, please give us a call. And, you know, unfortunately, if you've been a victim of investment scam or fraud, please do report it to us because it can go a long way in protecting others to make sure others are not targeted with the same scam.
Thank you, Raj, for coming and discussing and educating the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to your viewers.
Thank you. So आज से राज बाला सुब्रमण्यम ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ओंटारियो सिक्योरिटी कमिशनस ਤੋਂ ਹੈ और गलबात की है फ्रॉड के बारे बिकॉज असी फ्रॉड तो किद्दां बच सकते हैं किस टाइम ओंटारियो सिक्योरिटी कमिशन को असी कॉन्टैक्ट करना है बच्चों के RESP और एजुकेशन और रिटायरमेंट प्लान्स और जोड़े ग्रैंड पेरेंट स्कैम्स होंगे लव ट्रैंगल स्कैम डग क्लिनिक स्कैम बहुत सारिया कॉल्स आदियाँ तो असी OSC ओंटारियो सिक्योरिटी कमिशन को जो टोल फ्री नंबर इन्होंने दसिया ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਯੰਗਸਟਰ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਕ੍ਰਿਪਟੋ ਕਰੰਸੀ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਫਰਾਡ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਪਟੋ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ OSC ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨੌਲੇਜੇਬਲ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਟਿਵ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਜਲਦ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ